Hello, everyone. Reddy Linx is back, and welcome back to another Choose Your Own Adventure live stream. Today we'll be reading Deep in the Jungle of Doom. Knowing the title of this book and the cover, feels like we'll be encountering some jungle monsters, as well as possibly some other creatures. Anyways, for any of you who want to join, the link is there. It'll be available for 10 minutes. So yeah, hope you guys are having a good day. For any of you who are new to the series, basically me and some guests we'll read these books, try to get to a good ending with these books with 3 tries. Basically like if we get 2 bad endings then it's okay, but the third ending, that's it. So this is number 11 in the series. You guys in the chat can also interfere when we get to a choice. So yeah. Anyways, I'll get started on the Beware page. Beware. Do not read this book from beginning to end. Me, Tarzan. You doomed. You're on vacation in South America, all ready for some real jungle action. Tigers, quicksand, swinging on vines. Then you eat some enchanted fruit and start changing into a hideous, scaly monster. Now tigers are the least of your worries. You've got to find a way to get back to normal, and fast, before your friends leave you behind in the jungle of doom. But first, you'll have to escape a lake full of vicious piranhas, or find your way back of an underground cavern, or take your chances with a tribe of headhunters. You're in control of the scary adventure. You decide what will happen and how terrifying the scares will be. Start on page 1, then follow the instructions at the bottom of each page. You make the choices. Make the right choices and you'll tell the tale. Make the wrong choices and beware. So take a long, deep breath, cross your fingers, and turn to page 1. Already reading that you can already tell that this is going to be. If any of you want to join, the link is in the comments. The link is in the comments and it'll be available for 10 minutes. I'll be reading this digitally on my phone. So let's get started on page 1.
All right, junior explorers, I direct your attention to this magnificent specimen of broom-lighted icame. On and on, the guide, Mrs. Weedle. Drones, you can't believe you're stuck on a nature study tour. When you saw the brochure for the Junior Explorer Adventure Club at the front desk of your hotel, it looked great. 3 days hiking in the jungle with 10 other kids your age, and an expected jungle guide. How cool. Come on, you beg your parents. We're in South America. And you want me to sit by the pool all day? I could do that at home. Why'd you take me to a foreign country if you didn't want me to if you didn't want to expose me to new things? Now you wish your parents had said no. At least your best friend Zoe is with you on the hike. And even though the guide is as boring as possible, the jungle is pretty cool. Heavy vines hang crisscrossed over the trail. Strange and beautiful flowers in deep colors sprout from every side. As you follow behind Zoe, you notice a strange spiky flower with bright blue petals off to the side of the trail. Absent, ab- Absent-mindedly, you reach out to touch it. A sudden breeze makes the bright blue petals shiver. No! The flower screams. Pull your hand back at the last second. Race to page 2. No! The scream continues. Don't touch that flower! Mrs. Weedle. Only Mrs. Weedle. What's wrong? You ask. Is it poisonous? Does it shoot venom or something? Cool. Of course not, Mrs. Weedle huffs. Flower is an endangered species. You could have killed it. She turns and marches back to the front of the group. Whew. Oh, wait, sorry. Whew. That was a close one, Zoe says, brushing the bangs away from her eyes. For a second there, I thought something exciting was actually going to happen. Zoe's cool. Way cool. That's one of the reasons she's your best friend. She has a sarcastic remark for every situation, and she's not scared of anything. That's when you know she's just as anxious as you are to break away from the group and do some real exploring. Just a moment ago, through the trees, you saw something else that was definitely worth checking out. There it is again, off to the right, about 20 yards away. Incredible. Your heart skips a beat at what you see. Find out what it is on page 37. Eh, About 20 yards off the light through the crisscrossing branches and leaves of the jungle, you see a big bush of vines with feet. That's right, two clawed carved in stones are sticking out from under the clinging vines. You figured it could be one of those tribal ruins in the jungle you've read about. You've heard these used to be some pretty dangerous tribes of headhunters in the area. You're dying to find out if they still exist. Headhunter headhunters sorry. Headhunters shrink people's heads, and they make sacrifices to ancient statues carved in stone. At least that's what you've heard. Mrs. Weedle would have everyone thinking the most dangerous thing in the jungle was a bee. Or maybe an aphid. They eat endangered plants. Zoe, you call up to her. Look over there. There's something weird about that bush. I wish could go check it out. I've got an idea, Zoe says with a gleam in her eye. You've been friends with Zoe for almost your entire life, and you know that when you see the gleam in her eye, it means you're about to get into trouble. Usually a fun kind of trouble, but always big trouble. Oh, Mrs. Weedle, Zoe calls out. The group comes to a halt. What was the name of the extremely rare flower you were describing this morning? The one that was all famous scientists are searching for? Which one? You mean the Marmaris Carotalicus? Is that is that the one with the weird twisting orange petals and the blue stems? So asks innocently.
Yes, indeed.
Mrs. Weedle answers. She starts to wring her fingers excitingly. Oh, well, time is up for the link. I'm sorry if you didn't make it in time, so yeah, sorry. Link is down. You guys can still interfere with the comments when we get to a choice. Alright.
Yes, indeed.
Mrs. Weedle answers. She has to wring her fingers excitedly.
What about the character talk, Lucas? I saw it.
Zoe nearly shouts.
I really did. Where?
Mrs. Weedle does a happy little jump.
I think it was over there.
Zoe says, pointing back down the path.
Or maybe it was that way.
She says, pointing to the left of the group.
We should split up and search.
We should split up and search for it, you suggest. All the kids start talking at once. Now's your chance to sneak away. Already having a bad decision. We're splitting up. That's the main reason people start dying in horror movies. You and Zoe dash off the path into the jungle. You hear Mrs. Weedle yelling behind you.
Quiet!
You can picture her red-faced and out of breath. All the noises settles down and Mrs. Weedle starts talking again. You stay very still and listen from your hiding place behind a big tree. We've got two
We've got 2 good hours of hiking left to get our campground from tonight. That gives us until 3 o'clock to find the carry to top of Lucas. Now, everyone, follow me.
It worked. They're looking for that flower. And as long as you hook back up with them again before 3 o'clock, they may never know that you're gone. Zoe, did you really see the Keratotoclus? Whatever,
No way.
she says, grinning behind from ear to ear.
But now we get to explore.
You make your way through the dense leaves and vines toward the stone feet that caught your eye before. Here it is, Zoe, you shout. There must be a statue underneath these vines. You both get a good grip on the creeping vines and yank them back. Your blood runs cold at what you see. The creeping vines fall to either side of the statue. A hideous gargoyle carved out of gleaming white stone grins out at you. It was crazy. It has crazy, bulging eyes and long, sharp teeth. It looks like some kind of mutant cat creature.
That's really creepy.
Zoe says.
It gives me the shivers just looking at it.
Then you hear something else. It sounds like a low, deep growl. It sounds like it's coming from the statue. You feel a hot blast of stale smelling air on your face. That's when you notice the bits and pieces of plaster falling away from the statue. What's going on? You think. You shake your head and blink your eyes, but it doesn't help. The great stone beast lifts one of its clawed forepaws and slices at some vines still clumped around it. They fall in pieces at the ground.
Run!
Zoe screams, grabbing at you, but which way? There are two paths leading away from where you are. Down the path on the left, you see a small pool and a waterfall. Maybe you could swim away from the beast. To the right, you see a clearing with heavy sticks and rocks. Alright, we're given our first choice. To fight the beast with sticks and stones, run to page 11. Try your luck with the water, rush to page 68. Alright, I'm gonna put this in the comments. Alright, posted this in the comments. I'm gonna keep that up for a bit. Say what you guys think is good. For me, I think fighting the beast with sticks and stones is probably better because sticks and stones might sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can't hurt me. All right, I'm just I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna fight the beast with the sticks and stones. Page 11. All right. The stone beast is right behind you. This way, Zoe, you call as you race down the path that leads to the clearing. You know you can scare the gargoyle with the heavy sticks and stones you see on the ground. The beast's voice explodes through the jungle. Birds send out warning calls to one another. Your heart races even faster than your feet. You stumble into the clearing. The ground is covered in fine green grass. The sticks on the grass are just the size of baseball bats.
Quick,
Zoe shouts to you.
grab a stick.
She has already armed herself with a heavy club from the ground. Out of the corner of your eye, you see a high table off to the side. Some weird little balls are hanging off the tabletop, but you don't have time to check them out. Instead, you reach down and pick out a stick and a nice softball sized stone and spin around to face the beast. Growling deeply, the gargoyle bares its teeth. It rips through the air with 5 razor-sharp claws, and it pounces into the clearing. Turn to page 48 and get ready to rumble. The beast takes 2 steps toward you and Zoe, when suddenly it gives a yelp and starts to tremble. The gargoyle starts looking less like a fierce monster and more like a scared puppy dog. It looks terrified. Whining and with its tail between its legs, the gargoyle backs up and runs away. You're so shocked you drop your club. I can't believe it, you shout to Zoe. What happened?
It looked like it was afraid of something,
Zoe exclaims.
maybe it can't go into direct sunlight. Or maybe it's afraid of grass.
Very funny, you retort as you cast your eyes around the clearing. That's when you notice the wooden table you glanced at before. You get a funny feeling about it. Maybe the gargoyle was afraid of this table. You wonder aloud as you stroll over the ancient table.
What's so scary about a table?
Zoe asks sarcastically, pushing her heavy brown bangs out of her eyes. I don't know, you shrug. You bend down to examine the enormous wooden table. That's when you realize that the table is decorated with shrunken heads. Shrunken human heads. Race to page 110. Zoe! You yell. There are shrunken heads on this table!
Let me see.
Zoe bends down next to you. The table is made out of old, cracked wood. A basket on the tabletop overflows with bananas, oranges, and pears. Hello, CB. The little hands hang off the tabletop of red strings. Their skin is wrinkled and yellow, almost like old dried up apples. Each head I said CB. S. Uh, okay, to be honest, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but either way, hello. Anyways, let's continue the story. Almost like old dried up apples, each one has a surprised expression on its tiny face.
Too creepy,
Zoe exclaims.
let's not stick around.
I agree, you say. I wanted to have an adventure, but having my head shrunk wasn't exactly what I had in mind. You start to stand up and walk away from the strange table when you smell something delicious. It smells fantastic. What's that smell? You ask Zoe.
It's the weird fruit in the basket.
She replies. You turn back to the table. The fruit smells so good you can't believe it. It's an almost wonderful scent you've ever smelled in your life. Your mouth starts to water. You almost taste the sugary flavor of fruit upon your tongue. You have to have some fruit. You don't care what else. You don't care or or what else you do. You have to taste that fruit. You reach out with your hand and pick up a beautiful green pear. You sink your teeth into it. Quick, turn to page 65. Have we poisoned? Let's find out. You chew on the pear that you took from the basket on the table. It's delicious, cool, and sweet. The pear juice dribbles down your chin.
I can't believe you did that.
Zoe's a little crazed.
You don't know where that fruit came from. It could be poisoned or something. Maybe all these people ate the fruit.
She gestured to the shrunken heads. I couldn't help myself, you exclaim, taking another greedy mouthful. It smells so good. I couldn't resist. I don't think it's poisoned, you assure her. It tastes so good to be poisoned. Only moments later, after you swallowed the second uh, pulpy mouthful of pear, you start to feel dizzy. The ground begins to twist under your feet. The trees loom over you, casting twirling shadows down on you. The leaves or the trees are doing priorities. Zoe's face is spinning. Yes, and anyways, I'm gonna continue the story. Zoe's face is spinning, spinning, spinning.
What happened to you?
You hear her desperate cry. Spin to page 94.
Can you hear me? Are you okay?
Zoe asks anxiously. leaning over you. You're fallen to the ground. The pear rolled out of your hand and is sitting on the grass. It feels as if a bomb went off inside your head. Your whole body feels sore and a little tingly. I think I'm okay. You say to Zoe, but instead of words, what comes out is a blubbery howl.
Oh no,
Zoe cries in horror.
I can't believe it!
Her eyes look as if they might pop out of her head. She is pale and trembling. You move toward her. You want to tell her everything is okay, but she backs away. And then, Zoe, your best friend in the whole world, turns away from you and runs screaming into the jungle. Zoe, wait! Try to call out, but you just make more disgusting bleeding sounds. Your throat is filled with some kind of goop that keeps you from speaking clearly. Why would she run away like that? Wonder. She looked really scared, as if you were a monster or something. Then that's when you see your hands, and let out a scream of your own. Your skin has changed! Oh, I think we have become that thing on the cover. That pear turned us into this monster. You look down at your hands. What used to be soft pink skin is now rubbery gray flesh. Thin, transparent webbing contacts each of your fingers, and each finger ends in a sharp claw. How could this have happened? You have turned into a monster. You reach up to feel your face. It's different than it used to be. Instead of a nose, you feel two little air holes, and your eyes have grown. They're huge. You blink and two clear flaps of skin skim over the surface of your gigantic eyes. A spiky ridge juts out from the top of your head like a scaly mohawk. Before you can even ponder what to do next, you hear the sound of someone walking through the jungle. You don't think it's Zoe, either. She took off in the other direction. Who could it be? Maybe it's someone who could help. Somebody put that basket of fruit there and hung those shrunken heads. Maybe they would know how to get back to normal again. Then again, looking like you do, maybe you should hide. They're coming closer. You can hear them humming. Quick, make up your mind. To get help from the person who is coming, turn to page 7. To hide, turn to page 124. Maybe later, but right now I'm focused on this story. Honestly, I want to find out who these people are. I'm gonna help them. I'm gonna see if we can get help from them. All right. You stand in the clearing waiting for the person who is coming closer. Oh, and by the way, if this leads to a bad ending, then we'll still have two more tries to get a good ending. Remember, we have three tries to get a good ending in this book. So if we get two bad endings, then that's okay, but the third ending we get, then that's it. Unless we get a good ending. So yeah. You stand in the clearing waiting for the person who is coming closer. The sound of leaves rustling grows louder. You cross your legs and smile, trying not to look scary. You hope that whoever it is will help you. Ben, one of the kids from the Junior Explorer Adventure Club, bursts into the clearing. It looks like he's reading some kind of comic book or a pamphlet. He keeps glancing down at his book, then back up, as if he's looking at a map. At first, Ben doesn't even notice you. You remember talking with Zoe about him. He's a real bookworm, and kind of a geek. His red hair is toused of, and his glasses are slightly crooked. Freckles over his entire face. Ben sees the table and rushes over to it in excitement. Clear your throat a bit and let him know you're there. Ben spins around from the table. His eyes grow big as he stares at you. He stares at your clothes, your sneakers. Your terrified face, your gruesome claws. Dropping the pamphlet, Ben points at you.
You're, I know who you are,
Sputters.
and I know how you got that way.
Catch up with Ben on page 21.
You're one of the kids from my Junior Explorers Club, aren't you?
Ben asks as he steps over to you.
You must have snuck away from the group just like I did.
You're so glad you're not scared he's not scared of you.
Yes.
You manage to say, the goop in your throat is sliding away. Or maybe you're just learning how to speak through it.
And I'll bet that you came into this clearing, saw this table, and ate one of the magic fruits from the basket. Let's find the end for this monster. You fell right. It turned you into a beast monster. You fell right into their trap.
He declares. Suddenly, Ben lifts his nose and sniffs the air. A doopy smile spreads over his face. As if in a trance, he stumbles to the table and grabs a banana from the basket. He holds it close to his nose and inhales the delicious odor. You know just what he's feeling. No! Ben! You shout. Don't eat that fruit! Your voice still echoes, coming all froggy. Ben peels the banana. If he eats it, he'll probably turn into the monster too. Try to stop him on page 79.
What is that?
You shout to Ben as he lifts the banana to his mouth. He has an odd, dreamy expression on his face. You step up to him and knock the banana from his hand. At first, Ben looks furious at you. You smash the banana away from him. His face turns red. Ben looks puzzled and shakes his head, as if he were waking from a dream.
Thank you.
Ben says,
You broke this.
"What spell?" You manage to croak. "What are you talking about?"
This fruit is enchanted. It has left was here by a tribe of medicine men. It is all explained in this pamphlet I got at the hotel. It's called The Myth of the Maglani.
Go to page 46 to find out more about the Maglani. Ben's booklet explains why you have turned into a monster. Maybe with his help you can become human again.
The Maglani are a tribe of medicine men. You know, doctors,
Ben explains.
they leave this enchanted fruit out here so that people will come and be turned into strange creatures. They don't like people. The Maglani want to turn all people into humans, into animals, or monsters. Does it say anything about how to undo the spell?
You ask Ben in a hoarse voice.
It says in the pamphlet that there's a legendary fruit that can undo the Maglani magic. It's called the fire fruit, the fire heart fruit.
Ben reads from his booklet.
I remember a tree that Mrs. Weedle showed us that had fruits like that and the little red hearts. Maybe that's the one.
You tell Ben excitedly. Will you help me find it?
Of course.
Ben says good-naturedly. What are you talking about? What's my name? It's Reddy Linx.
After all, you saved me from eating that banana, that magic banana.
We better hurry, you declare, glancing at your watch. It's already 2:20. We've got to be back by 3, or Mrs. Weedle will kill us.
Which direction was the tree you saw? To the left or to the right?
Flip a coin. If it lands on heads, go left on page 43. If it comes tails, go right on page 103. I don't have a coin near me, but there is a coin flipping website on the internet. Let me get that up real quick. Okay, I've got it set up. Let me flip the coin. Okay, it came out tails, so we'll go
So we'll go right.
I think the tree was this way.
To say, turning to the right.
I hope we can find it in time.
You lead Ben through the dense jungle. The air is hot and damp. Soon you're soaked with sticky sweat. Your new monster skin is gross and goopy. It even starts to stick to the leaves as part of them with your webbed fingers. Hiccup, sorry. You take a step to go around the huge rubber tree plant when one of the broad skin the broad shiny leaves bounce right into your face. It sticks to your skin, blinding you. Stumble forward. Ben cries. It's too late. You feel your foot sink into some kind of hole. Sink on down to page 27. You feel the gummy leaf off your You pull the gummy leaf off your face. Your leg is stuck fast in some kind of hole. Blinking to clear your eyes, you gaze down at your foot. That's when you see that the hole you just stepped in is no ordinary hole. It's a giant anthill of enormous red ants.
Pull your leg out before the ants get mad.
Ben advises.
And hurry up, we've got to find the fire heart tree.
I can't pull my foot out. It's stuck. You exclaim. You pull with all your might. Bending down, you scrape at the anthill with your sharp new claws. You huff and wheeze with the effort. It's no good. The red ants begin to swarm around your ankle. Quick, Ben! You shout. Grab that stick and try to dig my leg out. You nod. You sink your head toward a big stick on the ground.
I don't know if that'll work.
Ben says.
Maybe I should try pouring some water from my canteen onto the ants. That would drown them.
What do you want?
What do you want me to do?
To have Ben. We're given a choice here. To have Ben dig your leg out with the stick, go to page 60. To have him drown the ants, go to page 89. Alright, I'll type this out. What should Ben do? Dig our leg out with a stick, or try to drown the ants with his canteen? I'll give you guys a. Let me get a drink. Alright, I think I'll decide again. Alright. I'm thinking maybe drown the ants. Alright, if this is wrong, then I'm gonna. If this is wrong, then we still have 2 more lives. Alright. Drown the ants. The ants are frantically trying to get back in their ant hole. Their ant hill. They crawl over your leg and begin to bite. Quick, pour the water over my leg! You cry to Ben. A large green plastic canteen is slung over Ben's shoulder. He opens the canteen and drenches the anthill with the water. The water doesn't kill the ants, it just makes them really mad. They swarm over your leg. The bites make your leg feel as if it's on fire. The anthill the anthill is all muddy now, and your leg is stuck even deeper than it was before. Ow! Ben! Help me! You call. Pull me out! Ben takes one step toward you, but stops.
I can't,
He exclaims.
I'm allergic to insect bites. I'll go to try to find help.
Ben takes off running at full speed. If only you turned into a gopher instead of a clumsy bug-eyed fish monster, then you could have dug your way out.
because by the time Ben gets back, it will be too late. The ants will have moved your whole body out of their anthill, bite by bite, bite by bite, bit by bit, bite by bite. The end. So it was wrong, and I feel kind of embarrassed by that, but don't worry. We still have two more tries, and we'll jump back, and this time tell Ben to dig her leg out with the stick. Please help me dig my leg out, Ben, you shout. If we try to drown them, it could make them mad. Or madder.
Okay.
Ben answers. He picks up the stick on the ground, kneels down carefully, and prods the anthill. As Ben digs, the ants scurry to and from bright red with tiny pincers. You stare and stare at them. You're feeling very hungry all of a sudden. Before you can stop yourself, your tongue shoots out. Your tongue is huge, long, and sticky. It zaps up a whole mouthful of red ants. Crunch. They taste delicious. Ben stares up at you in amazement.
Wow.
He exclaims.
Some talk.
Splat. Your tongue darts out again. The ants stick to it by the hundreds. Soon you've eaten them all. You pull your foot out of the ruined anthill. I guess I was hungry, you tell Ben, wiping the last few ant crumbs off your mouth.
That was gross.
Ben exclaims.
But we need to get going. We only have half an hour before Mrs. Weedle. Well, the rest of the group take off from for the new campsite. Gotta find that fire hot tree before then.
Turn to page 24. Carefully make your way toward the area you were exploring earlier with the junior explorers. The tree with the fruits that look just like little hearts must be around here somewhere. You think to yourself. You push away some thick vines and see before you a small clearing in the jungle. Right in the center is the tree you saw earlier. You really hope it's the Fireheart tree. It is a small tree with dull flat leaves and gray bark. The branches are loaded down with pretty red heart-shaped fruits. Look, exclaim. Ben, I found the tree I was telling you about. Shh. Ben grabs you by the arm and pulls you back behind a fuzzy flowering bush.
Quiet,
He whispers.
someone's coming.
Hurry to page 57. You're about to run into the clearing toward the tree, but Ben held you back just in time. As you watch from behind the bush, Mrs. Weedle enters the clearing with the rest of the junior explorers right behind her. Mrs. Weedle mumbles.
I don't see the carry to the Talukas anywhere. What could the plan be?
I don't understand what you're talking about. What is your name? It's Reddy Linx. You're gonna have to be more specific. Because I'm not getting at what you're talking about here. Anyways. Hey, Mrs. Weedle, Bill Green calls. What's the name of the cool tree with all the fruit?
I can't even remember the scientific name, but here in the Amazon they call it the Fireheart tree.
You're so excited to hear all the tree. It actually is the Fireheart tree. That you shout out. Yes! You yell.
And was that sound?
Mrs. Weedle demands.
Sounds like it.
Sounds like it came from. Sounds like it came from over there, says Bill's little brother Fred. He points toward your hiding place.
So what do we do now?
Ben whispers.
Should we tell them who we are? Or maybe you should scare them away after all. They won't recognize you.
It's okay. I just didn't understand what you were talking about. All right. Step out and explain what happened to you, go to page 18. Jump out and scare them away, go to page 129. Scaring them is probably a clear choice that it's gonna. Talking to them is probably the wrongest choice ever. I want to see what happens if we try to talk to them about it. I'm gonna. If this is wrong, then it's totally my fault, but actually, let me think. I'm gonna explain what happened. 18. I don't wanna scare them, you tell Ben quietly. I'll just explain who I am. I understand everything after I ate that fireheart fruit and turned back into myself.
Who's there?
Barks Mrs. Weedle.
Aye, that one of my. Is that one of my explorers? Step out where I can see you.
It's just me, you call. Don't be scared. I can explain. Step out from behind the bush. Mrs. Weedle takes one look at your sharp teeth, fishy gray skin, and huge gloppy eyes and face. Thump. Just like that, the whole rest of the group passes out, too. Thump, 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 thump. You and Ben can't help but laugh. I tried not to scare them, you say, stepping over Mrs. Weedle. You pluck one of the ripe red fireheart fruits. You sink your teeth into it. Immediately, you feel your skin tighten and your head start to shrink. It happens so quickly that you don't bother finishing the fruit. You're a kid again, more or less. Back at your hotel, you tell the whole story during dinner with your family. They all think you're joking until a fly lands on the tablecloth. Zap! Your long, sticky tongue shoots out and catches the fly. Guess you should have eaten the whole fire heart fruit. But then, there's a little monster inside everyone in the end. Wow, that honestly, that's a pretty good ending if I say myself. Even though we're a human again, we still have our long tongue. We're basically Yoshi from the Mario series. I'd say that's a pretty good ending. And we've reached a good ending with 2 lives left. I'd say that's a good end right there. Well, there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed this choose your own adventure live stream. The next number 10 next time will be, yeah, Please Don't Feed the Vampire, which, fun fact, is the only book that got a reprint. Anyways, I hope to see you guys there. Have a good day, and remember to always stay calm and keeping your heads up out of danger. Hope you guys enjoyed this adventure deep in the jungle of doom. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.